So one of the many ways that things are fucking awesome right now.
Hey, sweetie. Besides having a beautiful chocolate lab that's really soft to touch, right here in my hands.
Um, I have just been playing with a program called CapCut that my friend Lyndsay introduced me to, and she's one of. I do have some pretty incredible resources available to me, but she's one of the top ones, and the resources are all kinds, health stuff. I don't know. It ranges wildly, but most recently it was CapCut, and the thing that I'm in love with is it took me under I don't know, probably under 45 minutes. I actually wasn't paying that close of time, but under 45 minutes to go from now, what the fuck is happening here to watching a couple quick videos. And now I've actually already edited a pretty good chunk of a video. And the thing that I love so much that is what drew me is that I can, it auto generates a transcript. And then I go through based on the transcript and I can see where, like, well, first of all, it'll pull filler words and silences out automatically. So like when I'm doing one of these sort of things where I just leave the camera running for however fucking long, I will be able to go in and tell CapCut, take out all the spaces, take out all the filler words. I say, like so fucking much. I'm excited for that to get pulled. And then I can go back and go, okay, this is a section where I'm saying nothing in particular. I'll just fucking yank it. Or this is a segment that's actually cool that I should make into its own standalone video. So I am beyond jazzed. But the video I'm actually working on is a celebration in itself. It's a interview slash friend hang slash, knowledge share. With a friend who's an occupational therapist, and she has scheduled a workshop that I'm super interested in and plan to go to. And so I had the opportunity to share that on my Facebook wall. And then I also shared, and I said in that post, like, there's an interview where we talked, and it's on my wall. Can't put it here because Facebook fucking strangles things with links. So anyhow, so that's cool. That's really cool that within a month of actually creating a piece of, eventual content, I'm already using it, even though it's still in rough form. So, like I said a number of times, I don't care that it's in rough form. That's how I like it. It'll get nicer and nicer over time. That's one. Things I learned today from Lyndsay is I learned a lot about my diaphragm and breathing. And really anatomical stuff that I really do wish somebody at some point had said, either about breathing or yoga. We talked about both. And she's had yoga teacher training, and it happened to be, it sounds like perfect, really, and anatomically based, basically. So she learned a lot of detail in that way. And I'm like, I don't know how to hold my stomach, or when to hold my stomach, or which muscles to tighten. I don't even know how to talk to my muscles sometimes. So I need to break it down. And that's what she knows how to do. So that was exciting. I learned a lot about some plant medicines that I definitely have some interest in now. And a lot of them are legal. They're not even talking about stuff that, whatever. So I learned other things from her too, but CapCut takes the cake, and she told me that a couple of weeks ago. My friend Aiyana and I just scheduled some tentative dates, and we'll pick one for sure soon. We're going to do a ritual with another gal where we're actually going to be practicing the ritual, where we'll be led by the coursework that Aiyana has purchased. And she's, she wants to learn it, and she wants to integrate into some of the work that she does. And so I'm fucking psyched. So that's huge. I still really have no idea how to accurately estimate how long things take and allow enough time for them. And so I'm constantly reminded that happens to be a skill I have had the opportunity to practice a tremendous amount. And it's still quite the struggle. And so I do think about the folks who never had the opportunity to have paid training, like me when I went to work for corporate America, and they trained me to do what I had to do in order to do the job, and then kept training me and kept training me, and I kept going to new places and getting more training. So yeah, it's not fair to those who feel awful because they can't figure out how to get themselves moving or making consistent progress on something, or they feel like crap all the time. I think a lot of it stems from believing I'm just going to say since we are really truly not made to conform to the automaton structure that would be required in order for us to not be exhausted. Well, we'd be exhausted because we'd know we'd be living inauthentic lives. But yeah, it's unfair because for people to feel terrible that they can't conform to an artificial environment. They shouldn't have to force themselves to conform to an artificial environment. Just about everything about our Western lives these days is an uncontrolled experiment on an extraordinarily large scale, if you look at it in the same way that humans study mice and rats and chimps and stuff. They build an environment, they run a lot of different scenarios and see what happens. So I'm trying to learn something different through learning how to connect to my intuition and surrounding myself with people who either are practicing the same thing and it's fairly new to them as well, or I'm quite lucky to be starting to connect with folks who have practiced and learned and sometimes even taught for an extended period of time. So that also gives me a great deal of relief because I've been sitting in that space of, I see a void that needs to be filled. It is above my current level of skill or energy or interest, but it's a hole that has to be filled. I see a lot of people suffering unnecessarily because that hole is gaping. For example, men's groups, gatherings of folks who kind of lead the way for others in like a way shower kind of way. Those are a couple of gaping holes that now are no longer big, huge holes. They are things that are starting to exist. But what I really needed were people who were further down there, further deeper into their journey for at least a decade more than me. Or like Lyndsay, who is younger, somebody who has really, unfortunately, had to walk through the fires of hell at a much younger age, which is its own thing. So yeah, I'm surrounding myself with people who do know how to follow their intuition and hear it and listen to it, and also can say, look, I mess up too. I don't always listen. I don't always do what I encourage other people to do. So part of my purpose for sitting here right now is I know I have not sat down for more than a few minutes today at any one time. So obviously that's part of my tired. I also need to get back to prioritizing. If I want to go visit a friend, I need to work backward from where I'm at right now to make sure I can be ready to leave by, let's figure that out. So I'm going to start saying out loud the kind of the ways that I try to keep myself organized enough time-wise that I am able to, on the one hand, start to learn how to have a more realistic expectation of myself and my time, but also noticing for myself how hard it is, and remembering that it's hard for me. And I, like I've said, I've literally been trained in it and practiced it from an extreme perspective of autistic, an undiagnosed, unsupported, um, extremely traumatized autistic. So I definitely see things that no one else does, and I'm learning how to translate it into a language that others can understand, because I keep remembering I had to learn it all at one time too. So, okay, I did want to. Okay, let's see. I have my timer set. How long is my timer? All right, it's 3:40, and I just want to talk about the shower for a minute. All right, so Grandma Ada, you have a little story to tell?
Yeah, you know what, Heather? I really struggle sometimes. On the one hand, I really, really, truly am still so absolutely appreciative of having indoor plumbing. You know, it's just so great to be able to walk into a room and close the door and flip a light switch and turn some water on, and it gets hot without anything from me besides turning it on. So I'm always going to be real grateful for that. Don't get me wrong. But where I get frustrated is when that situation, that opportunity to take a nice hot shower or a nice hot bath, um, is marred, is ruined, uh, by it being like an unpleasant environment. So, for example, this particular example that I'm thinking of is, it's one of those small old clawfoot tubs. And, you know, they've added the shower after the fact. And so it's that big pole that you cannot use as any sort of balancing aid because it's flimsy. And then it has that oval um, curtain holder. And not that long ago, I discovered that there are extra big ones so that it actually keeps the curtains away from you. But this one is the good old fashioned, just barely bigger than the tub. So the fucking shower curtains keep touching me. And even if no matter how no matter how I put the magnets, it's unpleasant. And then the tub is so narrow that I keep almost falling because I don't have very good balance. So obviously that didn't come out in Grandma Ada voice, but it had to come out because it's been scary. Every time I get in and out of that tub, I'm like, am I gonna be okay on one leg long enough to lift my leg out and down what feels like a big step, especially with a bad knee and everything. So it's been risky every time. So it's hard because I want to continue to be just extremely grateful, but there are times when I'm like, you know what, this particular indoor plumbing situation bums me out. But I have to clean myself, so I'm gonna use it. All right, well, at least it only took 2 minutes just to do that little rant. All right, I'm gonna go find some energizing tea and put on some music and go and keep getting ready to go see a friend. I may or may not come back here, but I'll definitely turn the recording off before I leave. All right, so one of the excellent skills that has always worked for me, that I use for really genuinely making consistent progress on a project or work or whatever it is, on anything, to make consistent progress, is to, at the end of each work day or segment, whatever, if you only work a couple of hours on a day and then that's it, then that's fine. Write down, stop for the last 5 minutes and first, before reflecting, because you're unlikely to get to it. First, think about the things that you want to make sure you get done tomorrow. And not only does that let me set something down so that I don't have to think about it overnight, it also helps me, start to right size my expectations throughout the rest of the evening for what I can plan on for tomorrow.
And also then I will try to write down things that I did accomplish, because I at this point am a little down on myself, thinking I didn't accomplish enough, when in reality I probably accomplished a great deal, particularly for the amount of time that was available. And I just have far too high of an expectation. So, all right, what do I need to make sure happens tomorrow? Tomorrow, I have to, well, tonight, okay, I'm not, well, this is my work day. This is my work day, but my work evening will be packing tonight. Okay, tonight. And I want to be almost totally done before I really let myself relax. But I also want to be, I don't want to be still motoring around after 8 o'clock. I want to be parked in front of the TV, playing a video game by about 8 o'clock. So that'll give me a few hours after I get back from Liz's, and that should be good. A couple of hours of packing. I might not be done, but I will have made a big chunk, if not done. Okay, so tonight, packing, off work by 8 p.m. latest. I'm also going to write down, remember to eat dinner and probably want to eat some popcorn and aim for bed by 10:30 latest. Okay, tomorrow. Load my car. At some point, I'll put estimates of how long each of these things would take, so that I can kind of plug it into my calendar. And that's something I will try to come record in the morning, is plugging in my plans for the day into my calendar, so that I can appropriately track how long things take, and make sure I am only planning to do as much as is reasonable. Okay, so load my car. Record last day notes and thoughts. Track for checklists. Okay, take breaks every 90 minutes. I'm going to say no matter what. Okay. What does my T say? Gratitude is not about what is received, it is about how you receive what is there. Oh my, ain't that true? Okay. Okay. Then I will, I gotta pick up prescriptions from Fred's on the way home. I have to look at my calendar. There's probably something else I'm supposed to do. So it looks like it's unlikely I will get to my budget. But tomorrow is oh good. Okay, Saturday's a fire day. So I'm gonna put my budget down for Saturday. Tomorrow is starts water and ends fire. So at least that's good, because I've got plans with my sweetie in the evening. So Saturday, I need to budget. I need to take Laura and the kids to the airport. I should drive for a couple of hours to see how it is. Evening. Okay. Those seem to be reasonable fire activities. Okay. So if I think of other things, I will come back and add them to tomorrow, but I will in the morning have to be crossing things off, because obviously I won't be able to get to everything I plan to. All right, now I'm going to look at what I got done today. I did message the client, my daily message. I did play with CapCut a bit. Ooh, that'll be fun to do on Saturday too. But tomorrow, if I have time, that would be fun. But it's unlikely. I'm gonna write it down. This is also going to help me not get distracted and sit down at the computer this evening and keep editing. That is not a wise choice. Okay, so I'm putting this on Friday. It's 3:33 and I've got this on the meeting on. Okay, what's next? All right, oh yeah, so I still need to send Lyndsay a link to our live. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. I can probably do that tomorrow. Okay. And I also have done some packing. Definitely a lot of good planning. It's good time spent with Lyndsay. I'm gonna go see another friend, Liz. So I've done a lot of socializing this week, but only one-on-one and with people that I like rarely get to see, and I'm super jazzed to see. Who I know I'll be tired, but only because I'm excited, not because I'm having to work hard at being there. Okay, time to keep getting ready, comb my hair and things. This is what I gotta think about it. Make sure I write everything down because I have quite a bit of cleaning to do. I could do some of that tonight if I decide not to pack, but cleaning, like vacuuming, wipe the bathroom that I used. I didn't use more than one. Sink, kitchen sink, vac or sweep. There's a lot of places I can just sweep. Shit, yep, that's something too. Good thing the client has asked me not to leave until 1 o'clock or a little bit later. So I've got all the time I need tomorrow if I want to lollygag. Or just not rush. Okay. Okay.